Okay, look at the other question. I need to have some space. Okay, you can see the platform. Age is 60 centimeter. Okay, upon reaching the bottom, it comes to here. The block slide along a horizontal surface. If the coefficient of friction, from here to here and to here, so it means it will continue to here, and friction coefficient is same. How far does the block slide on horizontal surface before coming to rest? At final points, final rest will be 0. So I have to find this distance. Say this part is D. Okay, I don't know what's it, or say X. Maybe X is better because it moves on horizontal line. It's asking this part. How can I find it? Just assume. Again, I have to use this formula, famous one. I will write again, potential kinetic energy, initial point, and potential kinetic energy. And also be careful, there is some work done by friction. Always you need to add final part if you use positive sign. If you use minus sign, okay, you can use the first part. Okay, why I am putting this one to final one? Because at first point, it is at rest. So this block doesn't touch the friction surface. Of course, after some time, this block meets with friction, contact with friction. Of course, you lose energy. You have to lose this work at final part. Can I use energy from, say this is A point, to C, where block is stop? Of course, you can use this one. Just you need to use this rule. What's my initial potential energy? I know that part, mgh, which is 60. Is there any kinetic energy? No, because it is at rest. If you come here, I come here. There isn't any potential energy, isn't it? Because there isn't elevation. So my potential energy will be 0. And what's kinetic energy? It will be stopped because of losing energy because of friction. So your kinetic energy will be 0 as well. And I have to understand what is the WS. How can I write WS? Okay, be careful for this one because maybe firstly I need to write what's the WS, F, and delta R. Displacement. This, firstly, there is some losing energy at inclined platform. Say this is FS1 and then FS2. So you can say this is WS2. You have to calculate both of them. This part gives losing energy. WS1 plus WS2. And finally, we can calculate, but I have to understand what is the WS1. What is the Fs? How can I find Fs? Can I say this Fs is equal to this friction force? No, be careful, because give me a second, I need some space. I have to write here. Why you don't move? Okay, sorry. Okay, now look at here. Fs is, I know, N and mu K. What's the N on first platform? What do you think? What's my N? Maybe I need to change the color. Say this is N. That is incline platform 30. I have to find what's the N. Should I take mg or should I care this part? Of course, if I find this one, finally you can find N. Generally, we know N is mg cos 30. You know, this part is sin part and this part is cos part. Okay, so I can write Fs will be mg, sorry, not Fs, and say N, say N1. N1 will be that part. Yes, I can write Fs1. N1 will be mg cos 30 and nu k. And if you look at second part, maybe I can move this one here. I can take that part to here. Okay. It belongs to inclined part, and you want to find what is the friction force at that point. What's the friction force? It is easy. I know this is mg, and my N will equal to mg because of Newton. Say this is N2, and 2 will be mg. Can I write Fs2? Of course, you can write that part. Mg mu k. You can see the platform is different. We already solved similar questions. Okay, now I think we can calculate all of them. Should I know this part? Because, of course, I have to understand this part because give us different color. What's the Fs? This is Fs. Distance, displacement, and force must be parallel. This one, I have to take that part. I know this is 60 centimeter. Say this part is D1. And how can I find D1? Sinus 30 will be D1 over H, is it? I know H, which is 60. Can I find D1? Sin theta is, sin 30 is 0.5. So D1 will be 120 centimeter. Please be careful. You can't use centimeter. You need to convert it. It will be 1.2 meter. Okay. Also, I need to calculate this part because I will use work is F equal, W equal F multiply dr. So you need to calculate D2. What's the D2? I don't know. It is asking. I I can't find this part. I know potential must equal all friction. Again, I will write here, potential part must be total friction. Total work done by friction, which is V1 plus V2. I know mgh equal V1, W1, sorry. Just put all information. Fs1 multiply D, sorry. Oops, sorry. My pen is not perfect. S1 multiply D1. Fs2 multiply D. D2. I don't know what's the D2. Come on. M is 3. 3 10 H is 60, but you need to convert 60 centimeter to meter, which is 0.6. I don't know FS1, just to use this information. 3 10 costs 30. What's cost 30? Is there an information? Of course, it must some information. Is it 0.6? I think. Okay, here. Yes, I will write that one. 0.8. I know new. New is what's new. Where is it? Where is that? Is that information? Okay. 0.2. And finally, what's the D1? D1 will be 1.2 meter. I'm taking this part. I know it's too long question. Plus, just unit right, 3 multiply 10, 0.2, and D2. I don't know D2. Just you need to calculate D2 using math information. Please do it by yourself. D2 will be 2.04 meters. I like this question. Did you understand this part? It is at rest, and suddenly it is rest without any velocity, and then it comes to here, it stop. Just you will write total energy information, its initial part. There is just potential energy. There is kinetic energy because velocity is 0. And then finally it comes here. There isn't kinetic energy, velocity is 0 because it's stop. There isn't potential energy because there isn't elevation. So your all potential energy convert to friction work. Work is done by friction. You lose all energy because of friction. So in just you need to calculate potential energy, and then you have to calculate how much energy I lost at this platform to this platform. If you don't understand this question, please ask me. And finally, your result will be 2.04 meters. Okay, look at the other question. And some space. Okay, this mass is released. It means velocity is 0. Okay. The track is frictionless except this position from B to 2. Say there is some friction here with mu k. And length is 6 meters. Okay, perfect. The block travels down to the track, hits a spring. It hits the spring. The spring constant will be that one. Compress the spring 0.3. It means, of course, there is some potential here. Say x is 0.3 meter from its equilibrium position. Now it is at rest. Say this is, sorry. Just this from here. It is at rest, and because of this mass, it is stretched to here, and this x is 0.3. Just there is a displacement after the object hits the spring. Determine the coefficient of kinetic friction. So you need to find that part. Okay, how can I calculate? Again, famous one occurs. What's my initial part? There is just potential energy. Is there any kinetic energy here? No, because velocity is here. So I can write like that. Be careful for this part. Maybe I need to write here. Okay, again, potential and work done by friction. Okay. I will change my pen. Of course, this part will be 0 because initial state is 0. And the other part, his spring of force constant, blah, blah, compress the spring from its equilibrium position before coming to rest. Just you can assume it is at rest. So your velocity will be 0. What I have? Potential energy because of spring. And I lose some energy because of friction. Just you need to write like that. Potential energy at initial state. Potential energy because of spring and some work done by friction. Yes, I will write that part. mgh equal. Be careful. This potential energy is energy belongs to spring. So you need to write here kx square plus f s, and what is distance? Okay, distance is 6 meters, that part. How can I write fs? I know n mu k. What's that? This is horizontal platform here, mg at that point, and will be mg. So fs mg mu k. I know mg, just I need to know mu k. It's because coefficient, friction coefficient is asked. Okay, what is the m? M is 10 kilogram. G is 10. H is 3. K is that one. X is O multiply 0.1 square plus, what's the fs? This part, m is 10 multiplied 10. Sorry for writing. And mu k, I don't know this part. If you, this math part, please calculate it. If you calculate that one, mu k will be, what was it? 0.33.